Listener Questions with Kathy Pfeffer-Hahn. Finances and, in conjunction with my company, Capital Coaching, helps people achieve their financial goals through tailored, personal, and attentive financial coaching services. Together, we'll create a successful financial plan by examining your spending and saving habits and then guiding and educating you to your own personal success. Coaching services include evaluation of your spending plan, building your savings, financing your retirement, examining your insurance needs, and planning for your individual goals. Please contact me at capitalcoaching.net to make an appointment for a free consultation. This week, I'm going to answer some questions I've received regarding filing unclaimed property, Virginia's 2020 tax rebate, starting a budget, I like spending plan better, and appraisals and how they affect you in buying or selling a home. Unclaimed property in the form of uncashed checks, security deposits, overpayments, and other forms of money that have not been collected by an individual that is due that money can be claimed. The website unclaimed.org is the database used by states' National Association of Unclaimed Property Administrators. This unclaimed or abandoned property, money, that is at financial institutions or companies where they have not had contact with the owner, again, you, for a year or longer. And at that point, it must be turned over to the state, and there it sits until you look for it. This could include checking or savings accounts, stocks, dividends or payroll checks, insurance payments or refunds or annuities, traveler's checks, trust distributions, CDs, utility deposits, mineral royalty payments, the contents of someone's safe deposit box, unclaimed taxes, or life insurance payments. An example on their website is Joe was renting an apartment in Knoxville, Tennessee for several years before getting a job offer in Nashville, which is a few hours away. When Joe moved to Nashville, he updated his address with his bank and credit cards, but did not see any reason to provide a forwarding address to his prior landlord, ABC Rental Company. After 60 days, ABC Rental owed Joe his $500 security deposit back. However, without any forwarding address, they were unable to contact Joe. After the one-year dormancy period expired, the $500 security deposit became unclaimed property and, by law, was turned over to the Tennessee Department of Treasury. Before you say, well, that's not me, know that I thought that too. But I did go to my state's website, put in my name, and there were actually 3 entries. I filled out the forms, which were 1 page each, and just asked me for a copy of my driver's license and Social Security, so proof of identity, and mailed it off. 3 or 4 weeks later, which was last week, I received a check for $1,100. Now, the list is not specific to the dollar amount. It says things like a range from $10 to $25 or more than $50, but there are ranges, and my more than $50 was well worth my search. Now I'm going to wait for checks 2 and 3 and see what they come out to. It's important, though, that you use your state's official program, which is linked to this site. There are 4-fee services, but why bother? Get all your money back by applying for it yourself. This program began as a consumer protection program and has evolved to protect the owners, but their heirs and estates as well. The use of the word property could lead you to believe that there could be physical property as well, but it only does apply to monetary property. Go check it out after this podcast is done, though. The state of Virginia has decided to offer a 2022 rebate for taxpayers. If you filed last year, you're eligible for a $250 rebate filing single or $500 if you're married filing jointly. This is a one-time rebate, and it was voted on and approved by the General Assembly this summer. You don't need to apply for this. Some people will not qualify if they owe anything, but you can always check what you're going to receive on October 31st by going to tax.virginia.gov and entering your name and social. They're issuing these funds in the order that you filed, so the earlier you filed, the sooner you'll get your check, and will deposit them into the same account that you had any refunds. Look for something labeled VA, DEPT, Taxation, VA Tax Rebate on your checking account. All others are going to get a check. If your bank account is closed, you too will receive a check at some point, unless it goes into that unclaimed property account. Third thing I wanted to cover is people who are afraid of even starting a budget. Are you worried what it will show once you get this budget going? Knowing that it's going to be a mess is okay, but not looking is asking for trouble. We may not like what we see, but just like our physical health, if we ignore it, especially when you don't feel well, you're asking for trouble. You know that if your child wasn't doing well, you would do everything in your power to find out what was ailing them and help them recover quickly. So let's think of our financial health as a child that needs some TLC. Even if we don't have a cure in hand, knowing the root cause will help aid in our getting the medicine that we need in the form of knowledge and realizing the extent of what needs to be done. Is it a bottle of Tylenol or surgery that you need? Those are two dramatically different scenarios. The fact that you already feel like your finances are sick, you might be right. But now you can help heal your spending plan and make some changes. Starting small really does help. Incremental dollars add up to hundreds of dollars. Sit down with your bank account and a piece of paper or even a free online budget calculator like NerdWallet has and jot down your most recent housing payments, any pay information, the money that you spend on food, transportation like gas, insurance, or the metro, your basic power, water, and gas utilities, the minimum loan payments that you owe, childcare, subscriptions to anything, TV, magazines, etc., travel, entertainment, eating out, and savings. There, you have a basic budget in hand. It won't take long, but the information that you glean will identify what's not doing well and what you're going to need to be able to make healthier choices. And finally, given this market, buying a home is a costly choice, with interest rates rising to 6.59% so far for a 30-year fixed mortgage, which is up from 2.5% in 2021. Appraisals will help you get to know the value of the home based on an unbiased opinion as determined by the appraiser. The appraiser usually has a certificate or license from the state. They're required to have training, continuing education, and on-the-job experience. By visiting the property and inspecting it, they can look at the quality of the home, the comparables or similar homes in the area, and recent sales. They use all that to determine the home's value. Factors they might consider include the size of the lot, the home's square footage, when the property was built, the number of bath and bedrooms, if there are additional features like pools, patios, garages, and other updates. They also look at where the property is located. And although you can't change where your home is located as a seller, you can improve your home's value by doing any repairs that are greater than $500, because the value that they're looking for goes up in $500 increments. As a buyer, the value matters because your lender wants to make sure that homeowners are not over-borrowing, because the home itself serves as collateral for the loan. If the home is not worth the loan amount, and the borrower or the homeowner goes into default because they can't make their loan payments, the home goes into foreclosure. The bank or lender can protect themselves by not lending more than the home is worth and getting an accurate value on the home. Since the lender requires the appraisal, the borrower generally pays the fee of several $100s. If the appraisal comes in at or above the contract price of the home, the purchase can move forward. If it appraises for less than the asking price, the sale may not go through. But as the buyer, you may be able to ask for a lower price on the home. Of course, the sellers may balk at this low value and have their own appraisers come in. Appraisals keep the bank safe or help the lender get a better value for their home. This is Kathy Pfeffer-Hahn. Thanks for listening to Finances and Listener Questions. I know you chose to listen and I'm grateful. If you enjoyed this episode, please follow or subscribe for free in your podcast provider and share your favorite episode with a friend. I'd love you to leave a review because it brings financial education to others and helps people find me more easily. Also, let me know what questions you'd like answered or any topics you'd like covered by going to the website at financesan.net and leaving a message. You can also contact Capital Coaching for your personal financial needs at capitalcoaching.net. Finances and does not provide legal or tax advice, and nothing in this podcast is to be construed as such. Always consult a tax, accounting, or legal professional for advice on your specific situation.